Hey, I want to talk to you about one of the biggest time sucks that is out there, and that's social media. Now, social media, there's some positive things about it, right? Definitely. There are people in the preparedness community that I would not have met if it wouldn't be for social media, if it would have been for the Facebook group, the Prepper website Facebook group, or the Prepper website Facebook page. I would have never engaged with them, and I'm truly grateful for the people that I've met. There's some really great people out there, right? Other things that the reasons that are it's a positive thing is you get to communicate with people that you don't normally see. You might not see them on a regular basis. Maybe people from your childhood, maybe people from high school, and it's not something that you would, that you would normally people that you would normally engage with on a regular basis, but they do show up on your social media, and so you do get to kind of keep track of how things are going in people's lives. At some point in your life there was somebody that meant something to you in your life, right? And then of course you get to keep up with family and friends, and even if they're in the next city or they're all the way across the world, it's the same thing. You get to easily communicate with them, you get to see how they're doing, you get to see pictures of the family and all those good things. There's some benefits, but there are also a lot of consequences to it. There's some negative things, and maybe we need to start thinking about these things. So the first one, and I've already alluded to it, it's a big time suck. It's very easy to get on social media and you start scrolling and you have wasted an hour. I mean, an hour will go just like that. And an hour, 2 hours, and you really have not done nothing of value. You've looked at videos of cats and videos of people doing stupid things, and you've read profiles of posts and stuff like that that really didn't mean anything. They didn't add any kind of value to you. And so it was this big time suck and time waste that you were doing. And so you really don't want to spend all that time and do that. You want to be a little bit more productive. The other thing is that it's so easy to get into these arguments on social media. I'm sure you have seen it before. Now, there's people that are quote unquote your friends, and maybe even people that you don't even know, but you can get very easily into these confrontations, and you just go. I mean, there's people that are conservatives and liberals and politics and religion and all these different things that people go after, and sometimes it's just stupid stuff that mean nothing, and they're going after it, right? And it's like I've seen people throw up all over social media, and I have this picture in my mind that there's guys out there, 40-year-old men, who live in the basements of their parents and who don't have a job, they don't have a life, they are eating Cheetos, drinking Mountain Dew, sitting in front of their computers, in their underwear, nothing better to do than to cause problems on social media. And I just picture that, and because I picture that, I don't want to engage with people like that. So a long time ago, I've decided that's not something I want to do, and I don't even waste time doing those types of things. But the other thing that I think, and I've really been focusing on this a lot more, is I truly believe that social media is conforming the way we think. Because if you share something out that is not to their community standards, whatever that might be, whatever they believe is community standards, they start to ban you. They start to do that to you. And then because of that, and you come back, and if you care about social media and you care about being on there, well, then you say, okay, I won't share that thing that, although I believed in it and I cared about it, I shared it out before, I won't share it again because I don't want to be banned. I don't want to not be able to interact on social media. So they're slowly, and you know what, there might be people in the preparedness community, and I know of people like, I don't care, I'm going to say it anyway, I don't care if I get banned, I'm going to get banned. But there's a lot of people out there that don't look at it that way. They get banned and then they're like, I don't ever want to do that again. And so they're conforming the way that you interact and you react. And they will serve you up what you want, but it's the algorithms are, you don't see everything anymore. If you're not interacting specifically with every page and every group that you're in, you just don't see them anymore. But they will serve you up ads. They will serve up what they want you to see because they're going to be putting that into your feed. And so slowly but surely, you might be a very strong person, but they are sending you things and sending you images. And then if you don't agree with it, well, then it goes into that total time suck thing again, right? You're scrolling through things that you don't want to see, but they're serving it up to you. And so it's like, why even deal with it? So there's a lot of consequences there. So I want to talk a little bit about maybe how you can start to just navigate away from so much social media. And there's some people that could go cold turkey. And I've known people that have gone cold turkey before. And you know what? Their lives are better for it. They don't miss it. They enjoy life, And so I've known people that have done that before. But you might not be able to do that. You might not be willing to do that, or at least at first. So I know that I can't do that. Because of my church, my Facebook page for my church, I do a live devotional every Thursday night. And so I need to be able to get to social media to do that. I also upload my devotional every morning after I write it. I share it out on social media because I want to have a way to share the Word of God and be a blessing to other people that need some encouragement, but maybe let other people that need to see, the things, spiritual things, that they can see that as well. And so I'm using it that way. But there are some things that I have done, and you might want to think about this. So one of the things that I have done is I have deleted Facebook, the Facebook app, and the Facebook Messenger app from my phone. Now you can't really completely delete it. It's there, it's disabled, but it's not there. It's not easy for me to bring up my phone and click on the app and go to Facebook. So it's always there. It really never goes away. So if you do disable it, if you ever need to enable it again, it's very easy to do. And then for a lot of the times, everything is still connected. Your login information is still there. It's amazing, however they do it, it's still locked in there. And so it's like you pick up where you left off, right? There's no issues there. So they make it very easy for you to stay connected to it. But I'm forced to now, because I don't have it on my phone, I'm forced to now to go to a desktop or go to my laptop. And so when I'm engaging with social media, I'm doing that. And I'm a little bit more aware of, hey, I'm doing it for a time and then I'm getting off of it. I'm not spending a lot of time just sitting there scrolling on my phone because there's nothing else to do. So one of the things you can do is disable the apps, and that way you're forced to do it on a computer or on a laptop instead of doing it on your phone, where it's so easy to do. The other thing you might want to do is turn off notifications. So go into your social media apps, whatever they might be, and turn off the notifications so you don't hear a ding, you don't hear a vibration, or you don't feel a vibration or anything like that, which your brain, when you hear that, you automatically want to go to your phone and you want to see who is sending you a message, who has tagged you, who has done all those different kinds of things. So turn off those notifications. So when you do open your phone, you'll see them and you can go to it, but you're not always going to your phone every time. It's like they trained you. You don't want to be trained to pick up your phone every time you hear a ding. You're not an animal. You're not a dog, and so you don't want to do it that way. So turn off your notifications when on your phone, and that way that might help you do that. The other thing that you might want to do is you might want to just take a sabbatical. And there's been people that I know that have done this. They'll say, hey, guys, they'll type it out on Facebook. I'm going to be out for 2 weeks. I'm going to be off of social media. I'm taking a sabbatical, and then that's it. And so they might disable the app, but then they might just not go to it. They're very disciplined. And it's going to be very hard, maybe the first day, maybe the second day, because you're used to picking up your phone and then getting on to social media. But after a couple of days, you start to wean yourself off of that, and it's not as hard. And there's been people who have said, you know what? I really didn't miss it. I really enjoyed it. I had more time to do other things. I was more productive. I was able to do things. And so they enjoy that sabbatical time. And you might find that after you have that sabbatical time, you might not want to enable the Facebook app again. You might want to go ahead and turn it off. You might want to be able to just look at it on certain times when you get to your laptop or you get to your computer and different things like that. So, you can do a sabbatical. The other thing is, and this is very important here, is you need to change the trigger for you when you're bored. So I was in a meeting not too long ago, and we had a break, and it was like a 15-minute break. So you go to the restroom, get a drink, do whatever you need to do. And a lot of people picked up their phones, and some people were checking email. But as I was passing by people, because I'm on this kick right now about social media, I'm kind of just glancing, and they're on Facebook, man. They're on Facebook, and they're seeing who tagged them, and they're seeing who responded to them, and they're seeing those kinds of things. Do they have any notifications? Because it's so important to see, that there was a notification from some group or some page or from something, right? And it's just like, they were addicted. They were going to Facebook because of these things. So there's a lot of the times when we're bored and we all of a sudden we pick up our phones. You might be sitting down eating dinner with someone, and the conversation comes to a lull, and everybody picks up their phones, right? And so you don't want to do that. So you got to change the trigger. Maybe you're waiting at the doctor's office, and so you're bored, and the last time I was in the doctor's office, they had a TV, but they were showing, like medical stuff. I'm like, I don't want to see that. And so you get bored, and so you start scrolling on social media. Maybe you're waiting in the line. This happens sometimes in the grocery line. It's like, hey, I don't want to go through the self-checkout. I'm going to go ahead and stand in line, but you're standing in line 10 minutes, and that's 10 minutes that you're there. So it's very easy to, when you're bored, that trigger is automatically, I'm going to take out my phone and I'm going to start looking at what, social media, and spend time there. So you got to change the trigger. So here's some ideas. The first thing is add an RSS reader. I added Feedly to my phone. And so Feedly is the app or the website that I use. It's an RSS reader where I put all the article or all the websites that I follow for Prepper website. I put them in there, and then all the articles they show up, and then I read those to load up on Prepper website daily, right? So I follow a lot of other websites that are not preparedness related. I have other interests, other hobbies, other things that I'm looking at, and so I can, while I'm waiting maybe in line, and there's 10 minutes, I can go read an article, and that would be so much more beneficial to me. I can grow professionally. I can grow in an area that I care about. Maybe it is preparedness, and I'm growing there, and I'm reading something valuable rather than just watching some videos of some cats or whatever it might be, right? And so, add an RSS reader. That might be one of the ways that you can go, and you can quickly go through, your Feedly and find something valuable. The other thing is you might want to look for a podcast, right? And so or listen to a podcast. You can carry your headphones around. Sometimes I carry my headphones in my pocket if I'm going somewhere and I know I'm going to be sitting down, and maybe if I'm going to lunch by myself. And so instead of just sitting there and just eating, I might be listening to a podcast. And I've done podcasts for the Prepper website podcast that are like 15 to 17 minutes long. So it's very easy for you to possibly listen to an episode of a podcast, and you can gain some great knowledge that way. So you can do a podcast. Maybe you come over to Prepper website, and you just, we're loading up new articles every single day, and you can go to Prepper website and click on an article that seems interesting to you, and you can go read that. That would be great. The other thing you can do is pick up your phone, and instead of going to social media, go to your texting app and text someone that you truly care about. Text your spouse, text your kids, text your parents, text your friends, send them a text and just say, hey, I'm thinking about you, and then go from there, right? And how valuable would that be that someone hears a notification or a ding on their phone, and they pick it up and like, hey, someone sent me a text, and it wasn't just a random, it's random, but there's some care there, right? And so that would be beneficial. But find a trigger other than social media when you pick up your phone that you can go to. Maybe it's even just listening to some music. You can do that. So as I'm closing out here, I want to ask you this question. Is there anything else maybe on your app, that you could do? Maybe there is an educational, or is there anything on your phone, another kind of app, or maybe something web-based that you would do to change the trigger in your mind other than just going to social media? And I'd love for you to share that below in the comments. That might help somebody else out. They might not necessarily look to Feedly or an RSS reader or a podcast, but there might be something You know, you could play chess. You can download chess, and chess gets that thinking going and that critical thinking going. And there's some really cool chess games that are free where you play against the computer, and that gets that thinking going, that gets that processing going. And so that's something that you could possibly do, right? Not just playing Angry Birds or playing some of the other stupid games that are out there. Play something that is productive, something that's going to cause you to think and to grow and to build some dendrites inside of your brain, right? And not just have you just vegging out on what you're watching on that small little screen. Be purposeful. Use your time wisely. And most of all, really consider the time that you're spending on social media. There might be other things that you can do that would be so much more valuable. You could be learning preparedness skills and different things like that. You could be getting outside. You could be trying out things. You can be testing out your gear. There's so many things that you can do rather than spending your evenings on social media or your time on social media and doing all of that. Just think about it. So again, in the comments, if there's something that helps you to change that trigger that maybe you've thought about when I was mentioning that, share it in the comment section, because we'd love to hear what you might be doing. It might be helping someone else. Well, guys, I'm going to link to another video that I did not too long ago on the Prepper Purge, my Prepper Purge series, and it was on social media. I tell a little story, and it's the start of why I started going this route and why I've really pulled back a lot from social media myself. Again, like I said, I've deleted the apps or disabled the apps on my phone, so it's not so easy to get to. And so I'm going to link to that in above the video and then also in the description if you want to go check that one out. I would greatly appreciate it. So thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all the viewership and the subscribers and those that like all the videos that I've been doing. I greatly appreciate that. So we will see you on Prepper website and on the podcast. God bless. Thank you.